It's not a passing thought. This is not wishful thinking. This is a decisive moment where your life begins to reorganize itself around a higher standard of love, stability, and forward movement. What once felt delayed is now aligning. What once felt uncertain is now becoming intentional. You are stepping into a season where commitment replaces confusion and clarity replaces waiting. This is the moment when your future stops asking for permission and starts demanding preparation. You are not entering a relationship to be completed. You are entering it already whole. This is not about rescue or dependency. It is about alignment. Two lives moving in the same direction with shared values, shared vision, and mutual respect. Love at this level does not drain you. It fortifies you. It does not distract you. It sharpens you. You are being positioned to build something that lasts because you have done the internal work to sustain it. Alignment over timing means you stop measuring your life by clocks, calendars, and comparisons and start measuring it by readiness, clarity, and internal order. Timing is external and unpredictable, but alignment is internal and intentional. When your values, decisions, and emotional discipline come into agreement, life responds with momentum. Nothing meaningful arrives early or late when alignment is present because readiness removes resistance. Many people believe they are delayed when in reality they are unprepared. They watch others move forward and assume they missed a window, not realizing that alignment is what opens doors, not urgency. When actions and priorities are scattered, even perfect timing cannot sustain progress. Alignment gathers your focus, stabilizes your emotions, and sharpens your choices so that when opportunity appears, it can remain. Alignment demands honesty with yourself. It requires acknowledging what you are truly ready for and what still needs refinement. Timing can place something in front of you, but alignment determines whether you can hold it without losing yourself. When your inner world is chaotic, even good opportunities feel overwhelming. When your inner world is ordered, progress feels natural rather than forced. Waiting is not wasted time when alignment is being built. Every moment of self-awareness, every boundary established, every standard raised is active preparation. Timing may seem silent during these periods, but alignment is working beneath the surface, removing weaknesses that would later cause collapse. What looks like delay is often reinforcement. Alignment also means releasing pressure. You stop rushing outcomes and start strengthening foundations. You no longer chase milestones to prove worth or quiet insecurity. Instead, you choose consistency, maturity, and emotional stability. This shift transforms impatience into confidence because you trust that what aligns will not require strain to maintain. When alignment is missing, timing becomes stressful. Opportunities arrive and create anxiety rather than excitement. Decisions feel heavy instead of clear. But when alignment is present, timing feels calm and cooperative. You recognize what fits and what doesn't without confusion. Discernment replaces desperation, and peace replaces urgency. Alignment teaches you to stop negotiating your standards for the sake of speed. You realize that arriving too early can be as damaging as arriving too late. Proper alignment ensures that when something begins, it has the structure to endure. You are no longer impressed by access alone. You are committed to sustainability. As alignment increases, attraction changes. You begin to draw experiences, environments, and connections that match your internal order. This is not coincidence, but consequence. Life mirrors your discipline, your clarity, and your emotional readiness. Timing aligns naturally when the internal signal is consistent and strong. Choosing alignment over timing requires courage because it resists comparison. You stop measuring your progress against other people's chapters. You understand that movement without alignment leads to burnout, while alignment eventually produces effortless momentum. You become comfortable moving at the pace of preparation rather than pressure. Alignment is the quiet authority that tells you when to move and when to wait without anxiety. It allows you to step forward with confidence rather than urgency, knowing that what is aligned will not miss you and what misses you was never aligned to sustain you. Expansion through commitment challenges the belief that freedom comes from keeping options open. True growth begins when energy is focused, not scattered. Commitment is the decision to invest fully rather than exist halfway. When you commit, you give your potential direction, and direction creates momentum that uncertainty can never sustain. Many people fear commitment because they associate it with restriction, but commitment does not shrink life, it organizes it. Without commitment, effort leaks in multiple directions, producing exhaustion without results. Commitment gathers your attention, your discipline, and your resources into a single stream, allowing progress to move faster and farther with less resistance. Commitment creates structure, and structure is what allows expansion to be stable. Growth without structure collapses under pressure, but growth supported by commitment becomes durable. When you commit, you build systems that support consistency rather than relying on motivation. This is how expansion becomes lasting instead of temporary. Expansion requires depth, not constant change. Commitment allows you to go deeper instead of wider. It strengthens skills, sharpens identity, and refines decision-making. Instead of restarting repeatedly, you compound progress. Each disciplined choice builds on the last, creating acceleration that casual effort cannot replicate. Commitment also transforms identity. You stop asking who you might become and start acting from who you are becoming. This shift creates confidence rooted in action rather than intention. Expansion becomes visible because your behavior aligns with your vision. Consistency begins to speak louder than promises. When commitment is present, challenges no longer signal retreat, they signal refinement. Obstacles become opportunities to strengthen discipline and sharpen strategy. Rather than abandoning direction at the first sign of discomfort, you adapt and mature. Expansion through commitment teaches resilience instead of avoidance. Commitment clarifies priorities. You become selective about where you invest time, emotion, and energy. Distractions lose their power because they no longer align with your chosen direction. This clarity creates space for growth by removing unnecessary weight from your life. As commitment deepens, capacity increases. You become able to handle greater responsibility, greater opportunity, and greater visibility without losing balance. Expansion follows capacity, not desire. Commitment quietly builds the strength required to sustain what you are asking for. Expansion through commitment also creates trust. Others recognize reliability, consistency, and integrity. Opportunities increase because confidence grows in your ability to follow through. Expansion becomes relational as well as personal, opening doors that inconsistency would keep closed. See, commitment is the decision to stay present long enough for transformation to take place. It allows growth to mature instead of remaining superficial. Expansion becomes inevitable when commitment removes the option to quit at the point where progress begins to demand discipline. Decisive action is the moment thought turns into movement and intention becomes reality. Ideas alone do not shape the future. Decisions carried out with clarity do. Every meaningful change begins when hesitation ends and direction is chosen. The future responds not to what you consider doing, but to what you consistently act upon. Indecision creates stagnation because energy remains trapped in analysis. When you delay choices, you delay progress. Decisive action releases momentum, even if the step is imperfect. Movement corrects itself, but stillness breeds doubt. The willingness to choose breaks the cycle of waiting for certainty that never fully arrives. Decisive action is not reckless, it is intentional. It comes from clarity, not impulse. You weigh options, accept responsibility, and move forward without constantly looking backward. This kind of action builds confidence because each decision reinforces self-trust. The more you act decisively, the less fear controls your direction. The future is shaped by repeated choices, not single moments. Small, decisive actions compound into major transformation over time. Consistency turns simple decisions into powerful habits. What you choose daily quietly determines what your life becomes. Action, repeated with discipline, creates identity and outcome simultaneously. Fear often disguises itself as preparation. You tell yourself you need more time, more information, or more approval. Decisive action exposes this illusion by demanding courage over comfort. Growth begins the moment you act before fear feels resolved. Confidence is not the prerequisite for action, it is the result of it. Decisive action also establishes boundaries. By choosing, you define what you will and will not tolerate. This clarity protects your energy and aligns your environment with your direction. When you act decisively, distractions lose influence and uncertainty loses control. Your life becomes more intentional and less reactive. Every delay teaches the mind to doubt its own authority. Every decision strengthens it. Decisive action trains you to trust your judgment and refine it through experience, even when outcomes require adjustment. The habit of action keeps you progressing rather than retreating into hesitation. The future does not reward potential. It responds to execution. Talent without action remains invisible. Vision without movement stays theoretical. Decisive action bridges the gap between what you imagine and what you experience. It transforms possibility into structure and hope into measurable progress. When you act decisively, you signal readiness. Opportunities align with those who demonstrate follow-through. Action communicates seriousness more loudly than intention ever could. The future begins to cooperate when it recognizes consistency and commitment in your choices. Decisive action is the discipline of choosing progress over perfection. It accepts responsibility for outcomes and adapts rather than withdraws. The future is not something you wait for. It is something you construct with every clear, deliberate step you take.